This is a sequel to Fishes in Cooking 1 and 2. This is Fishes in Cooking 3. Here we're talking more about shellfish. Classification of seafood we have already understood before, and we are not talking about crustaceans and mollusks. What we'll be talking about. So shellfish. Shellfish outer shells. See, hard outer shells. That's what we are looking for. And typical other characteristics are lack of backbone or internal skeleton. That is something which is typical that we see in shellfish. There is no backbone or no spine, and usually no internal skeleton. Skeletons are normally external skeletons. So you have mollusks. Mollusks are, you have bivalves and univalves. Now bivalves are all the ones. अभी आप समुद्र के तट पे जब आप जाते हैं तो आप सीपियां देखते हैं. You see a lot of oyster, or things like oyster or scallop or mussel. All of these are examples of bivalves. They have got two sides to it, right? Think of oyster typical with a pearl in it. That is a typical example of a bivalve. The ones which are not like that, say the ones which look more like your conch, जिसे हम लोग हिंदी में शंख कहते हैं. So ones that look like that, they have only one aperture, so they are called univalves. So those kinds are called univalves. You have got abalone, conch, and then you have cephalopods. Now the other ones like octopus, squid, cuttlefish, these are called cephalopods, right? Crustaceans are animals with segmented shells and joint legs, including crabs, lobster, crayfish, shrimp, prawn, krill, barnacle, etc. We'll talk about some of these, typically crab, lobster, crayfish, shrimp, prawn. All of these we shall be talking about in subsequent slides. Oyster. This is what an oyster looks like. Here in the oyster have been opened up. You see the oyster has been opened up. For opening an oyster, you have typically an oyster knife, which is a short blade, slightly blunt knife with a rounded point. It is stiff. The knife is stiff, so that you can put it into, you can force it between the shells and pry it open by twisting it. That is how you open a oyster. We shall be talking about it subsequently. Typically all these seafoods which are had now oyster, it has been served like this. As you can see, it is designed to be served raw. A very popular starter, or although oysters are served with lemon and they are served raw. Yeah. Clams. हिंदी में हम लोग सीपी कहते हैं. These are clams. The clams are also similar to oysters, but they are much smaller in size. Of course, the shape and stuff is different. Herein we have clam which has been cooked in some kind of a liquor. So what happens is, when you typically start cooking clams, they will open up of themselves, and then they require to be cleaned off sand particles, etc. In all these bivalves, sand particles is something we require to be careful about. There are 2-3 parts. One is the beard, which is the you see along this particular edge, there is a fiber kind of a thing which is there in all bivalves. That fiber requires to be removed, and there is an inner portion which is not edible, that also requires to be removed. This is clam. This is Manhattan clam chowder. It's a very classical chowder dish which uses milk, cheese, and cream cracker biscuits along with clam. Manhattan clam chowder. Mussels. This is what mussels look like. Pretty similar. They could be purple to greenish blue in color. So, like I was stating, there is a beard around this particular part. That beard requires to be removed, and yeah, this inner muscle is something that normally requires to go. The rest of it is pretty much usable. It is cooked in shell along with the rest of the meat. Scallop. So you would have seen there's a brand of oil available called Shell. Just Indian oil, have Bharat Petroleum, you have Shell oils also. Shell lubricants are also there. So this is that scallop based on which the logo of Shell is there. This is scallop. That scallop meat over there, it's opened up the scallop. Scallop meat are pretty round. That is one advantage of scallop meat. So opening oysters, here this is what I was talking about. They are also called shucking oysters. Here you put in the knife through and you would of course look, I would like to note the kind of gloves that have been used. These are metal net gloves. So even in case there is a slip of the knife, your hand is not hurt. That's why it's a protective gearing that one wears. Right? Twist the knife to break the hinge and then slide the knife under the top shell. Right? That's how you remove the flesh. And loosen the oyster from the shell, remove the pieces of sand particles or anything else, and then serve it. You don't want the guest to scoop out the oyster from the oyster because we first scooped out and served in the shell after it has been scooped. This is an example of abalone. Here we have started with a univalve. Abalone is a univalve. Conch, हिंदी में हम शंख कहते हैं. So that also can be had in a prepared form or in a raw form. Ceviche, salad. This one is not a conch actually. This is called a whelk. W-H-E-L-K. Whelk. Different from a conch. Snail. Snails are very popular in France, very prized dishes. So they are usually served 6 to a portion. And here we have snail which has been stuffed with something called snail butter, which is more of a parsley and garlic based butter. Snails are called the escargot, les escargots in French. This is a classical, typically it is served on crushed ice along with lemon. But the reason I have put in this picture is I would like you to note the cutlery which has been used for serving. So this is a two-pronged fork over here, one and two-pronged fork over here, to use to pick out the snail from inside the shell. And this is a snail tongue. It's called a snail tongue. So when you hold it and press it inward, the tongue opens outward. When you release it, it closes back on the snail from both the side. So now the snail is there in the tongue, and then you use the snail fork to pick out the snail from inside the snail and have it. And that's how you serve and have it. Squid. So these are squids. Also very similar to what's called calamari. These are squid tubes. So squid and calamari, they have something very interesting. There's something called an ink sac. There's a black color ink sac, and there is a translucent cartilage like structure which is there to puncture the sac when needed. And the squid uses as a device to cloud water when it is running away from any predator. That's when the squid uses that squid ink. The squid ink is used in culinary preparations. It's got a slight fishy flavor. You would use it for making black color pasta also. So that blackness of the ink gives it that particular the pasta blackness of the color. These are squid rings or calamari rings. They are slightly different, by the way. Squid and calamari are slightly different. We'll talk about it shortly. So having it crumbed and served is a popular method of serving. So calamari typically it's served with a aioli or a garlic mayonnaise and lemon over here. Cuttlefish looks a little similar to squid, but is not the same. Squid is more tubular structure. This has got a slightly, it's got a it's got an inner bone which is different. The fins of this cuttlefish are different. Here you have an example of a chili cuttlefish. It's pretty popular in Asian cuisines. Cuttlefish. Difference between squid and cuttlefish. So since we have gone through the pictures, they look pretty similar. Squids have flexible feather-shaped structure inside their bodies. That's called the pen. And that's what I was talking about. Used for the ink sac to puncture the ink sac when required, so as to scare away predators or to confuse predators. Cuttlefish have a broader internal shell called the cuttle bone. Typically, if you find fish bone, it's pretty. On some beaches, you would find them. Dried cuttlefish bones are there. That you would not find for a squid. Squid are fast moving predators, cuttlefish is slow moving. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, squid is cheaper and tougher. Calamari is more tender and expensive. That is the difference between calamari and squid. Both, of course, although these two are a little similar, both of them are different from, very different from cuttlefish. Octopus, so you know about it. It's got 8 legs to it. Octopus. There are cuisines in which you would have it raw along with maybe slightly pickled, or in some cuisines you might even have it live. Korean cuisine, baby octopuses are had live. They are just dipped in a little bit of soy and you put in the whole wriggling octopus into your mouth. Well, otherwise it can also be had crumb fried, which is a very classic way of having most seafood. That's a salad over. There's a grilled octopus over there, served in a salad kind of a format, along with maybe some balsamic vinegar. And this is how you clean a squid. You have to first pull out the head. The interior organs will come out along with it. Once you pull the head, what is inside comes along with it, and you peel off the skin. You see, herein you are pulling or peeling off the skin. Skin is getting peeled off, and then you pull the plastic like quill, that's the pen that was being talked about, the quill from the body, and rinse out the sac to clean it well, right? So the whole thing that remains is a sac, so the sac or the tube is cleaned out well. Yes. So here you have the tube which is left whole, and in this case it is cut into sections. Lobster. Lobster are very typified by, they look pretty much like large prawns, but they've got hard shells like crab, and these two pair of pincers which are pretty much like crab. These are lobsters. Lobsters typically will not grow more than 400-450 grams. That's a typical size of a lobster. Anything larger than that is not normal. So lobster have the, like most shellfish, lobster has the propensity to become red in color after it is cooked because of the development of anthocyanin pigments. That is a typical example of a lobster thermidor which has been served with the pasta. In the thermidor you have a velouté based sauce along with mustard and white wine, and it is sprinkled with cheese, and then it is grilled, or it is put under the salamander and baked. This is lobster thermidor. This is a lobster bisque. Now bisque, as you all know, can be made with most shellfish. We have got some tomatoes, a little bit of aromatic vegetables, and brandy is what you use to flambe it. That is what you will use. That's how you make a bisque. It's a pureed shellfish soup. Bisque. It comes from the Bay of Biscay, as we have discussed last time. Bay of Biscay, the word bisque comes. Crayfish. Crayfish, now they look pretty similar to lobster, but the thing is, lobsters are salt water and crayfish are fresh water. So this happens more in creeks, little flowing streams, and so on. Okay? So they're much smaller in size usually, crayfish. So what's the difference between lobster and crayfish? So crayfish are also called crawfish. They're also called crawdads, freshwater lobsters, mountain lobsters, mudbugs, or also yabbies. So those are the different names for crayfish that you would come across. And besides the size, lobsters are saltwater and crayfishes freshwater. So you would find them in lakes, rivers, streams, ponds, and so on, right? Now, here on it becomes a little tricky. So you have something called spiny lobster. The spiny lobster, they're also called langoust. They're also called rock lobsters. Now, what's the difference between these and lobsters? Look at it carefully. If you see, they do not have any claws. So they are pretty much like lobster, but they don't have any claws, and they are called spiny lobsters. These can grow up pretty large, and I've seen sizes up to 1.5 kilos. I believe they go up to 3 kilos and so on. Spiny lobsters, they're pretty huge buggers. Now the tricky part is that these spiny lobsters, which are also called langoust or rock lobsters is also a very popular term, by the way. They are in some parts of the world, which is Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa, Bahamas, they are called crayfish or sea crayfish or crawfish, which is the term I had used for our earlier crayfish that we had, earlier shellfish that we had seen. Now I want you all to understand that for our understanding, we shall not be calling this as crayfish, we shall be calling this as spiny lobster or rock lobster. And when we talk about crayfish or crawfish, we'll be talking about the freshwater lobster kind of a creature which is there. That is what we'll be calling as crawfish or crayfish. And slipper lobster, that also is a slightly different looking creature. It is similar to the rock lobster. Yeah, that's how it looks cooked on a plate. Shrimps and prawns, we are familiar with this. There are some very technical differences between shrimp and prawn, like the location of the gills. I believe a couple of these legs, there are 2 pairs which are supposed to be pincers for prawns and 3 pairs for shrimp, or vice versa. So these are little minute differences. Unlike a thought that shrimps are supposed to be larger than prawns, it is nothing like that. It is just they are very similar in species. This particular example that you see over here is that of a shrimp. Yeah, tiger prawns are large. They've got the stripes. So this is a typical example of a tiger prawn. Prawn cocktail is something which we have made before. It's a basically it is the cooked prawn is served in a cocktail sauce, which is a derivative of mayonnaise, as you all know by now. Chingri machar malai curry, which uses Golda chingri over here, is also something which you are familiar with. So that's a difference between prawn and shrimp over here. Now we don't want to get into it. For us, both are pretty similar, right? It is, like you see, shrimps, they have got lamellar gills, technical term, claws on 2 pair of legs. So this is one way of spotting the difference. Claw on 2 pair of legs is what shrimps have, and claws on 3 pairs of their legs is what prawns have. That's a different shrimp. Mantis shrimp, this is a slightly different looking creature over here, pretty similar to prawns, but very popular in Japanese and Chinese cuisine. Mantis shrimp. Crab, you're familiar with the blue crab. There are different kinds of crabs. You have sea crab, river crab, fresh land crabs, and so on. Soft shell crab, hard shell crab, and so on. So this is a crab over here. The crab is, again, the claws are popular. This is a Thai green curry in which the crab has. King crab is huge. This is a king crab, and these are more popular in the Hokkaido region of Japan and Alaska. These are the 2 regions of 2 parts of the world where you have this kind of huge king crabs. The one in this picture is slightly smaller. You have much bigger specimens. Mitten crab, they have have got slight hairy structure on their legs, and these clams are more prized for the roe or the eggs than for the meat. Hardly have any meat. It is the roe that they are